Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. And if you're listening to this on the Kempire podcast, make sure you subscribe and make sure you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We were just recapping the Real Housewives of Orange County. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. Be sure to check out everything you missed. I even gave you an update in regards to Wendy Assefa over on the Real Housewives of Potomac and Mia Thornton. Is Mia still in jail? Can't post $2,500? The CEO. Oh. So you may have seen the breaking news, and some of you may have seen a lot of speculation on social media, but I've kept mums the word on this story. But I did mention this story. What did I say on Twitter? I said, hold on, let me actually bring up my own tweet. Please hold. Let me bring up my own tweet because it was on November 16th. I posted this tweet. And look, this tweet could have been about anything, but I'm verifying to you guys now that this is what I was referring to. Because I told you that there was a story that I heard about during BravoCon. And in the tea that I was getting about BravoCon, I heard about this story that Kandi and Todd were getting a divorce. I tell you, when you're at BravoCon, a lot of stuff is being talked about. There's a lot of tea being spilled that's not spilled at the panels, or it's about what people are talking about. You know, people drinking a little too much, people spilling. You know, the housewives love to gossip too. So I had posted this tweet. Let me bring it up. Hold on, y'all. I had posted this tweet on November 16th. Was that a Sunday? I think that's a Sunday. And I said this in a tweet. And I told you guys I wanted to verify certain things because I didn't want to run with this story until I really had more information. But I'm going to share with you what I heard. And Todd, ain't no good gonna come to you. Ain't no good gonna come to you. And I know Mama Joyce over there, she's not going to say it, at least not public. Well, she might say it publicly. You know Mama Joyce. She's going to be like, see? I was right. And see. So I had posted this tweet. I said, I can't believe what I just heard. Hashtag BravoCon. And a lot of you had the speculation right in the comments. Some of you were commenting and I had to ignore it. Because again, I didn't want to run with the story. I was like, wait a minute. I was like reaching out to sources like, wait, is this true? Because I've heard countless rumors about Kandi and Todd having marriage trouble over the last few years. Since they got married, we've heard stories. But none of them really had validity until some sources came back to me. And I was like, wait a minute. These sources are usually very much on point. So I said, okay, but wait, I need more information. We cannot run with this story unless we have more information. Well, now Kandi Burruss is confirming to People magazine, you know, Bravo's outlet, is confirming to them that she is moving forward with a divorce. And the signs have been there. There have been blind items that have come out and alluded to this story. And you may have seen that Kandi removed Tucker from her Instagram bio. She did it, actually. It was BravoCon weekend, I think she did it. So I don't know if she was speaking to the ladies in the streets and letting them know, yeah, I'm not going to. And did you guys, okay, before I even get into all my speculation, let me just read to you what Kandi is saying to People magazine, and then I will tell you some of the things that I found out in my exclusive details. Okay, so for all you people bloggers that are watching, make sure you cite your sources because we always do. Okay, so apparently they were talking and dishing and talking during the weekend. Okay, so I think Kandi was, at least at this particular point, ready for people to know. So that's why I kind of was like, let me just sit back and wait, because I feel like she's going to come out with a statement. I was really tempted, because I was going to come out and do my own exclusive story on the 16th. And I was tempted to reach out to Kandi and just ask for a statement if any of this was true. But I said, you know what? I'm going to wait, because I'm not in a rush to have an exclusive. I'm not. I tell you guys this all the time. But this is what Kandi is telling to People Magazine. So People Magazine writes this: Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are going their separate ways after 11 years of marriage. And so many different businesses together, including producing Broadway. And now she's set to be here in New York City on Broadway in a Broadway show. She's going to be dipping in and doing it in your city, Todd. No. Ain't no good gonna come to you, Todd. And you know Todd had the nerve. Never mind. I can't tell y'all everything. Auntie Eva says it's good that you waited, Kim. I knew based off of the information that I got that she was going to say something publicly. And I was just like, all right, we'll wait. And look, now my Friday evening's ruined. No, not really. I'm here with you guys. So, in a statement to People Magazine, Kandi says this: after deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. Burruss tells People in an exclusive statement, because she probably saw the streets were all coming. There had been so much speculation. Some of y'all were in my chat, in my comments, and I was like, I can't say nothing. I said, let me wait, because I was also waiting for more solid information. She continues in her statement: I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. You guys, if you're new here, we talk astrological signs. And as a Taurus, I feel like I can read between the lines, but I also know some stuff. I can read between the lines. And us Tauruses that are in the building, or even if you're a Scorpio, our sister signs, read between the lines here. When she says, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work. Todd, you a low down dirty dog. Low down dirty dog. Because what happens when we get our heart broken, y'all? Tauruses, what happens when we get our heart broken? Well, a lot of people, not just Tauruses, but Tauruses. What happens when we get our heart broken? We pour ourselves into our work. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family, which is also important to note. They do have 2 young children together. So she's going to have to co-parent with this man. I hope she ain't going to have to give him child support. Yeah, what in the Marvin? That was the first thing I thought, Blue Hoodie. I say, Marvin really up in these streets? Allegedly. Burruss, who's 40, Kandi's 49, damn, didn't realize that. And her producer husband, okay, we can run with that. Producer husband, 52, met while filming the 4th season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2011 and announced their engagement in January 2013. We just did a whole recap of season 6, where we were talking about the drama. And we were defending their relationship during that recap. Hey, Miss Esquire. She said, Miss Esquire to you. I love the new name. She says a prenup may have covered child support, we can hope. Remember that season where they got married, their spinoff? That prenup remember, he did sign a prenup. That prenup did not favor him. So I don't know if she did a postnup. I don't know if it involved children in the original prenup. But that prenup that he signed did not favor him. And he didn't like it, but he signed it anyway. Thank God, Kandi. Thank God. I don't know if he's going to contest the prenup. Georgia lawyers, weigh in. I did drop the call-in link for Royal Court members and senior royals already. I'll drop the call-in link for Team Kempire members in a second. So since then, the pair have welcomed 2 children, son Ace, who's 9, and daughter Blaze, who's 5. So they have really young children, y'all. Both also have children from previous relationships. Burruss's daughter, Riley, 23, and Tucker's daughter, Kayla, who's 29. And you saw, and I sensed something. Now everyone's going to go back and watch the Lifetime Achievement Awards that was on Watch What Happens Live this week. Everyone's going to notice her body language is a little different. However, I will say this, y'all. When I saw Kandi's speech, I was like, she didn't mention Todd. However, sources that were actually in the building, she actually had a longer speech. It was like 20-something minute speech from what I've heard. And she does mention Todd in that speech. However, the edited version doesn't mention Todd. At least I don't recall. And if she does, it's very brief. You also may have noticed that she had taken Tucker out of her Instagram bio just maybe like this last weekend. I think it may have been BravoCon weekend. Yes, Kimmy, she said she didn't thank Todd. In the edited version, she didn't. However, in the longer version, she does. Maybe because she wasn't ready to make the announcement. But I don't know. I feel like she may have been talking this weekend because the streets were talking at BravoCon. Okay? For those that are just joining us, Kandi has officially made the announcement that she is divorcing Todd. This is not a joint statement. This is Kandi making a statement to People Magazine exclusively. So in October of 2022, Burruss told People the secret to their happy marriage was just great communication and having fun together. You may also recall, and this has been openly discussed on the show, that they've welcomed other people into their relationships. I already know you guys are going to say, well, see, that was the problem. Well, maybe you're right. I don't know, y'all. Because according to my exclusive sources, Todd allegedly, I don't know this for fact, but according to sources, they're saying that Todd may have went too far with that. They're accusing him of allegedly cheating. Or was it cheating? See, they never said they had an open marriage, though. They would welcome people into their marriage. Because there could be a difference depending on the rules of your situation. So according to sources, they're saying that Todd may have taken that a bit too far in regards to being with other people. And Kandi was not here for that. Allegedly. That was what I was hearing. And honestly, I was really surprised that she was even open to welcoming people into their bedroom in general, especially as a tourist. We could be, a little possessive. Joe Love says, and he broke the rules. And sometimes that happens. And I wonder, did he fall? This is speculation. I'm not saying any of my sources say this. I'm just saying what we've seen with other people that welcome other people into their relationships or open marriages. Did he end up falling in love with someone else? Did he break one of their rules? I don't know. Well, that part. Amy J says, Kandi likes to have fun, but she doesn't like to share outside of that. Did he take it too far? We don't know. She's not giving any of those details, but according to my sources, it was related to that. Unfortunately. As you know, on November 14th, Burruss was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Bravos during BravoCon 2025 in Las Vegas and thanked Tucker in her acceptance speech. So that must have been they must have seen the version that we didn't see on Watch What Happens Live. Because in her speech, she says to Todd, thank you for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, the lies, the truth, the almost fights, the actual fights, the reunions. You earned this award too. So that's probably in her longer one because the speech that you guys saw on television was edited down from like 20-something minutes, probably long, I don't even know. A longer speech down to what, 2-3 minutes? Like 3-minute speech? So I also was like, she didn't thank Todd. So you know how to go find out more information. Did she thank Todd in her speech? And apparently she did thank Todd. And as you can see here, People Magazine is confirming that she did. So they said the singer-songwriter who made her debut in Chicago in 2018 will make her Broadway return on December 11th, starring in & Juliet, which will run through March 8th, which is like a perfect distraction for anyone that's going through a divorce like this, and has since built an impressive resume as a theater producer with Todd. And I'm wondering now, because now with the closing of some of their businesses like Blaze and OLG, which they partnered together, I'm wondering if some of that had to do with what was looming in their relationship. Because let's be honest, with Kandi, she's not going to make a rash decision. And as a fellow Taurus, she's probably been pondering on this for a lot longer than a year. It's probably been actually a couple of years that she's been pondering on this and working on this. She did not make this decision lightly at all. And based on what we know of Kandi, what we've seen of Kandi, she did not ponder on this situation for a day. She's been sitting on this for a while, and now she's deciding to tell us. For those that are just joining us, Kandi Burruss, formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, is confirming that she is going to file for divorce from Todd Tucker. I will read you her statement again for those that are just joining. She says, "After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace." Interesting words. But my focus remains on protecting my peace. Wait, did he cause you no peace? Just asking. Being the best mother I can be and co-parenting with love and respect. There's a lot we can read between the lines when it comes to this. So she says in her statement, "I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family." So as I said to you before, in some of my exclusive sources, I heard about this November 16th, I said. So I was like, wait a minute, a divorce is coming? So I knew eventually we would either get a statement or the court docs would be revealed, but the streets have been talking all week. When I first posted that tweet, a lot of you were speculating in the comment section as well. Thank you, Dainty Girl. Yes, we know that OLG and Blaze Steakhouse is closed. But what I'm saying is that a lot of that's been happening in the last year. So it says to me, maybe that was part of the motivation behind closing these businesses. Because as I said to you before, I don't think Kandi woke up a month ago and said, I think it's time for us to get a divorce. I think she has been figuring it out, separating herself and her businesses from Todd. But if you remember the wedding special, Todd did sign a prenuptial agreement that he did not agree with all the terms, but he did sign it. I hope for Kandi's sake that he's not going to contest the divorce. See, Freakoff says, protecting my peace. Telling. Right? And usually Todd would be at an event like at BravoCon with Kandi. He was not there. And one thing I did notice about Riley, look, Riley's always been protective of her mother, but when her mother was giving this speech, and maybe because at that time, me watching it, I knew something, but if you go back and you watch her speech, you could kind of tell, first of all, everyone that was there said that it was a very emotional speech, but Riley looked protective of her mother standing up there by her side. She's always been protective, but there was a different energy. Lexi says he will probably contest. I hope not. Todd hasn't seemed messy like that. He doesn't give me Simon Gobadia, but we shall see. Curls Wheel says, ironclad prenup. Thank you. Let's hope. Exactly. Aisha says, protecting my peace and my assets. And that was a huge deal for Kandi during that season. So we shall see. See? Who's that? Ken says, my man is a Taurus and they do not give up. So if Kandi made the first move, baby, Todd was cutting the F up. Come on. I know some of y'all don't believe in astrological signs, but let me just give you a rundown of what I think happened here. I agree, who's that, Ken's? Because she did not make this decision lightly. Kandi has been pondering on this. Honestly, that's why I'm looking at the closing of OLG very differently. Because I think she wanted to liquidate those assets before she makes the move. I don't know if she told him that. I could see her saying, like, you know what? We don't have the time or the space. We're busy doing bigger and better things. This is just too much of a headache. I could see her saying that. Todd, I know you're watching. I could see her saying that to him without saying, yeah, I'm plotting and planning this divorce because you out here in these streets, Marvin, allegedly. That's the word on the street, yo. That's what I was hearing. Allegedly, may have taken this, welcoming people into the relationship too far. And Kandi was like, I'm done. Allegedly. Fiery says she had it and she's Tauruses are patient, especially if we've given you our heart and we say you are a person, and then if you break that, so I feel for her. I definitely feel for her. So for those that just joined us, we're talking about the breaking news that Kandi has confirmed to People magazine that she is getting a divorce after 11 years of being married to Todd Tucker, who she met on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Phaedra actually introduced them. Oh, damn. We got almost 5,000 people in the building? Hey, y'all. Hey. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like the video. Why are we not at 1,000 likes already? Once we get to 2,000 likes, I'll drop the call link for all of you guys to share your thoughts and opinions on the breaking news that Kandi Burruss is getting divorced. The signs have been there, though. The signs have been there. The biggest sign was her removing Tucker from her Instagram. And I was like, I am pretty damn sure Kandi had Tucker on her Instagram. But sometimes, people run with that narrative and she's never had it. But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure she had Burruss Tucker on all of her socials. Let me say thank you. J.I., thank you so much for the super chat. J.I. says, so is Kandi the stud Portia is You know it. I should have known better to pre-read your super chat. No, it's someone else by the name of Shay. It would be nice to see them as a couple next season on RHOA. Well, then that leads me to, do you guys think that Kandi should come back and should talk about this on Real Housewives of Atlanta? I don't think she will. Honestly, I don't think she will. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Miss Esquire says, not a great time to be a man named Todd married to a housewife. Right? Oh, you're right. The Todd father on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Todd Napola, who's suing the network from Real Housewives of Miami. Now it's really a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the BS. That girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, let me drop the call link. I almost forgot to drop the call link for our Team Kempire members. I'm going to drop it for you Team Kempire members as well. Live chat, we will drop it for you guys once we get to, let's get to 2,000 likes. That's like 5,000 of you watching. And if you're not subscribed, we don't just talk about housewives here. We talk about everything in pop culture, but we've been talking a lot about housewives. Mia Thornton was arrested for larceny, and apparently she might still be in jail, y'all. She ain't got the $2,500 to get out. And then we gave you an update in regards to Wendy earlier today. Be sure to check out the channel, but we've given you updates on so many other pop culture news. I am going to do a podcast special review on the Brandy and Monica tour. You might be surprised by what I have to say. I have a lot to say, from the opening acts to the main event. So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast if you haven't already, because I will be dropping that exclusively on the podcast. Kempire on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. There's also Club Kempire, where you can try out for a free 3-day trial where I talk about other hot topics. All right, let me drop the call and link for our Team Kempire members. Also, you can become a member too, guys. TeamKempire.com/join. All right, let me get through some of these super chats. And thank you guys so much for the super chats. That girl says, who you sleep with together is different than who you sneak on the side. They've been working this out behind closed doors. Yeah, that girl, that part. Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. Katie says he took forever to sign the prenup. Mad too. I remember that. I remember that special. And you know, I don't remember everything when it comes to Housewives stuff. But I remember he signed that. Oh Lord, well, I'm sure he had enough time to have his attorneys review it. He didn't like the conditions of the prenup, but they've been married for 10 years. What is Georgia law though in regards to that? Thank you, the life of Samad. There we go. Thank you so much for being a member, Samad. A Scorpio's intuition never leads you astray. That part. And then we're talking about her mom. Her mom is a Scorpio. Shout out to all the people that got Scorpio moms. Mama Joyce. I know she looked crazy. We just recapped season 6 and we were talking about Mama Joyce. That was the season where Mama Joyce was dragging Todd. This is when they were just engaged. And she's like, I think he's an opportunist. Remember? And now come to find out, was he an opportunist? Did he play the long game? I mean, they had 2 beautiful children from the relationship. Come on, we can't downplay that. Trust Love, thank you so much for the super chat. Trust Love says this. Was it with the lady that travels with them? What lady? Well, I don't have specifics on who it may be or whom it may be. But stay tuned. Make sure you're locked here. Make sure you're subscribed because when I do find out, now it's all going to come out. Katie, thank you so much for another super chat. Katie says, Mama Joyce said that when Kandi gave birth, he'd come home at 4 a.m. or later, and he didn't even seem remorseful when talking about it in interviews. I almost forgot about that. So God only knows how long or what Kandi has been dealing with behind the scenes. I'm telling you, her statement to People Magazine, to me, was really quite telling. Again, I'll read it to you for those that are just joining us because this is live. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us through the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. This is how you know that, based on, if you read between the lines of what she's saying in the statement, and this is not a joint statement. You know, sometimes when these divorces are amicable and everything's all good in the hood, it's a joint statement. This is not a joint statement. This is Kandi speaking directly to People Magazine. This is not a joint statement from Todd. I guess it was a scheme. So thank you so much, Joe Loves, for the super chat and for being a member. Joe Love says, with Kandi being a Taurus, she said that when they did invite others, she had a good NDA for them. Yeah, without a doubt. Todd being a Leo is going to always want his first stroked and probably didn't have his sneaky link sign one. Oh, shoot. If you're new here, we talk astrological signs. And you'll have to be strong if you don't like it. Right? Right, community. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sabby says he's still wearing his ring. I'm sure he is. Because he probably is going to try and still fight for the marriage, but Kandi's done. When we are done with you, we are done with you, Marvin. Just saying. All right. Guys, we have 5,000 people in the building. I think this is probably the most people we've ever had in. No, that's not true. That's not true. I forgot what story it was. We've had, but it's been a while. It's been a while. I think, I think we had like double this at one particular point. Let me get to the super chat. And for those that are backstage, hold on, let me see. Is anyone backstage? Oh yeah, we got people backstage. Hey, everybody backstage. If you're a member of the channel, I have dropped the call link for you guys on the community tab. Or the post tab, as they're calling it now. Trust Love, thank you so much for another super chat. Trust Love says her name is Fatum, allegedly. Oh, Fatum is not their assistant. Fatum is remember she was married to Akon. She was one of Akon's wives. No. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything with that. But let's not spread rumors. But I don't believe she's not their assistant. Fatum was married to Akon or one of the wives or something like that. If it's the Fatum that I think that you're talking about, because she's been around them as well. Goss the Boss, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. We appreciate it. Patricia, New York. Hey, where you been, Patricia? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We haven't seen that. I get it. People have lives. People have work to do. I get it. Thank you so much, Jocelyn, for the super chat. See, y'all wanted a dating life, and now we're talking about life and dating and divorce, unfortunately. Jocelyn, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, now he's going back behind the camera. Damn. Oh, damn. Lord. All right. Let me again, for the 5,500 of you that are following, that are here. First of all, subscribe. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well, including yours, because I'm sure there's content creators that are watching as well. And again, any of the information that you got from this live, make sure you cite your source. Because I would cite y'all. If y'all find out anything, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. Today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Factor. You know I love a Factor meal. Factor's got us covered on a busy day, like our Mondays, especially when I have 2 lives coming up. So Factor has you covered even when you have a busy schedule. Fall always feels like a reset between back to school, busier routines, and shorter days. Finding time to cook can be tough. That's why I personally love our friends over at Factor. Their chef prep, dietitian approved meals makes it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic the season gets. You get more variety and more meals. And of course, you get options like seafood choices from salmon to shrimp at no extra cost. They have more choices for better nutrition. That's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. More details on Factor will be available in the description. All right. As I said to you before, hey, Chef Don Don. Chef Don says this is Kandi's first marriage. So I know she's really feeling it, y'all. I know she's really feeling it. Curls Wheels, thank you so much for the super chat. Curls Wheels says, remember they were on the boat with his... see, everyone's memory is starting to come back. Come on, y'all. Remember they were on the boat with this hottie, just them, 3 for Todd's birthday this summer. The comments were crazy, telling her that hottie can't be around my man. Now, hold on, wait a minute. When was this? August? Did she delete the photo? Can someone go and look quickly? Can someone go quickly and mind you, I was just on her account, just waiting. I was like, is she going to say something now? Let me go all the way back. Did she delete it? When was this? Is this the boat? No. I'm going back, y'all. I just wanted to see if I can see. Is it on her account, y'all? I'm assuming it would be on her account. Not this summer on the boat. I don't see it. Look, and we're live. And I want to get to some callers. Guys, we're going to get to some of the callers in just a second. Hey, Patricia. Patricia says, I'm here. I watch you daily. Okay, I get it. You've been in the bushes. And beautiful new photo, Patricia. It's nice to see that you're all well and good. So thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. All right, let's get to some of the callers. For those that are just joining us, we just had breaking news that Kandi Burruss has confirmed to People Magazine that she has filed for divorce from Todd Tucker after 11 years of marriage. We just read her statement, and I just told you some of the exclusive details that I found out about during BravoCon weekend. I wasn't at BravoCon, but I told y'all I had people out there. I had people out there confirming stuff for me, and I was waiting to confirm some of the details. But from what I've heard, allegedly, there may have been extracurricular activities outside whatever agreement that they had in their relationship. Damn, look how I cleaned that up without just saying he cheated. Oh. Sorry. Okay. Ellis says, astrologically only, as a Taurus, I can't fathom how she stayed married to a Leo for 11 years. You'll be surprised. There are a few Tauruses that I know that are together with a Leo, and they've had long relationships. However, one of the Taurus Leos that I know, I think they may have broken up too. I have a Leo moon, so Leos, we're not trash talking you. We talking about Marvin. That's what we're going to refer to him going forward. He's Marvin. Eddie is Eddie Hennessy. Wendy is Pam Oliver. Okay. It's a scheme that Marvin set up to come to us with the BS. All right. Free cough. We can't. Damn it. That man. I would sing this, what you're saying here, but I'm not going to even sing it. I'm just going to say it. Thank you for the super chat. When a woman's fed up, damn that man. All right. Let me get to some of the callers. If you remember the channel, I did drop the call-in link on the community tab. Live chat, once we get to 2,000 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the general audience. That should be easy. So are y'all telling me we got, 3,000 plus people in here hate watching and not liking the video? We got 5,000 plus people here. Okay. Anyway, let me bring up Miss Esquire. Miss Esquire, you're not going to have a timer because I need your legal thoughts on this.
Good evening. What is going on with these Friday drops? That's been going on a lot lately.
It better stop when I get me a boo.
I know that's right.
That's not a Leo named Todd.
Listen, I don't have no business around a Leo. They their egos are too fragile and my criticism is too hot. So in terms of like kind of legal stuff and thinking about this, I do think you're right. It's very telling that they didn't put out a joint statement, because typically if you see a couple put out a joint statement, that would show that they've had a lot of conversations before and they may have been in mediation or arbitration and settled a lot of their differences or, issues about the marital estate.
Yeah.
So it is a little telling that they did not. They do have a prenup as far as we know. Like, we saw what was presented to him on screen.
Yeah.
We don't know if it was finally executed, notarized, and all of that, but I would imagine so, because why would you go through all of that for cameras and not actually protect yourself?
Yeah.
What people need to remember is in most states, and I believe this is true in Georgia, there's a lot of things you can do in a prenup, but there's things that you also cannot do in a prenup. So you can't really discuss any of the spouse's right to child support in a prenup, and you can't waive your right to child support in a prenup.
Okay.
So that was likely not included in the prenup. You typically can't discuss what you would do in the instance of divorce when it comes to custody and visitation and parenting plans in a prenup. So a lot of the things that might surround their two children would likely not be in that prenup at all. It's probably just what their plans were if they divorced. And it may be the case that what they decided to do was freeze her assets in time and freeze both of their assets in time.
Okay.
A lot of the times that's what you're doing with your prenup. You're saying, hey, this is what I have going into the marriage. And if we divorce, this is what I want to do with what I have going into the marriage. It doesn't really typically account for what you build in the marriage when you are together. And as we've seen, a lot of Kandi's wealth seems to have significantly grown during the time that they were married. So some of that wealth might be subject to division in terms of their marital estate.
Yeah.
But, hopefully what she did was protect all the assets that she had coming into the marriage.
Like music publishing.
Assets. Well, yeah, and assets that she specifically set aside for Riley, because that's also a very typical thing you'll see in prenups. If people have adult children or they have children from other marriages, then they'll want to protect their assets that they have, that they want to leave as inheritance to their adult children, so that it's not affected by the new marriage or by, a step parent, so to speak. So it'll be really interesting. But
Could she also do that for her mother as well?
Yeah, you can do it for anyone who you want to be a dependent or a beneficiary of yours. You can do it for, you can actually also protect, let's say that you're subject to get an inheritance when you have a family member pass away. Like, you have that right to the inheritance at the time you get married, but it just hasn't come into fruition yet. You can protect your right to that future money vis-a-vis a prenup. Okay. Even though you may not get the money until after the prenup is signed or after, you're married. So anything that you kind of have current rights in at the time that you get married, you can typically put those on the table. It's all the things that are like what you might have in the future that are very vague, that it's really difficult for a prenup to be able to address. But inheritances are not considered vague under the law if you can show you have a legal right to them.
Do you think, because, I speculated that with OLG closing, Blaze closing, people just speculated, she's no longer on the show, the businesses aren't doing well. Do you think that this was her plan of sort of liquidating those assets?
I mean, I think it's certainly really smart if you think a marriage is not going well and you're in business with each other to go ahead and limit your liabilities as much as possible
Yeah.
because you don't want to have to be arguing about who handles those debts. Now, hopefully the debts were held by a partnership or some other legal structure that protects them personally, a LLC or something
I
like
believe
that,
they
right?
were under an LLC.
Yeah, so if they were under an LLC, then the LLC may still have debts that have to be handled even post, there's stuff that still has to be handled post closing of a restaurant or a business, but hopefully those are just the LLC's debts. Now, what can be affected is, if the membership in the LLC, if it was split between the two married people and they no longer want to be in business with each other, then you kind of have to deal with that in the divorce. Is someone going to buy someone out? Are they going to sell the business? Because if they don't want to be in business with one another, then they really do have to settle their issues around the business ownership as a part of the divorce. And again, that's not something you would have probably seen in a prenup because at the time that they got married, I'm not sure that they were in business together in any way. If they were, maybe the prenup would have dealt with, hey, if we have a divorce, we own these businesses together. This is how the ownership in those businesses will be dealt with. But if the businesses didn't exist at that time, then the prenup would not have been able to reach a conclusion about that.
The only thing that they did business-wise before they got married was produce that play, A Mother's Love. But I don't know if that was like
Yeah.
official business, kind of like paperwork. But that was like the only thing. The restaurants came after they got married, I believe, right?
Well, I mean, we don't know. I want to address a question that I just saw come up. Someone said LLC is personal steal. An LLC is not personal. There is supposed to be protection for a person in an LLC. Now, if you manage that LLC like it is your personal bank account, what people can do is they can pierce the corporate veil of that LLC and they can reach you and your personal assets. But if you manage the LLC like it is a business and you can take a salary from that business or whatever are appropriate income to earn from it, if you really do respect the corporate structure of an LLC, then you should not be able to be reached in your personal capacity if that business has debt. So I just saw somebody distinguish that from an S corp,
Yeah.
and there are differences between those corporate structures, but that's not necessarily one of them, if that makes sense. Going back to your question,
Yeah.
it really depends on the corporate structure. Like, let's say they have one umbrella company, like Kandi and Todd LLC, and all of their businesses function under this umbrella company. Like the restaurants are under the umbrella company, the Broadway shows are under the umbrella company.
That
Then
makes me wonder too, in regards to the Broadway shows. I wonder if that was like another company that they own together as well.
Well, it might be. It would be. I don't think it would be advisable for them to have all of their companies under one parent structure.
Yeah.
It would probably be more advisable for like our restaurant interests sit in this company, our real estate interests sit in this company, our Broadway production interests sit in another company. Also, because these companies are operating in different jurisdictions, like the Broadway companies, pretty much operate in the state of New York,
Yeah.
whereas the restaurants are subject mostly to the laws of Georgia and any local laws where the restaurants are actually domiciled. So you wouldn't necessarily want to use the same corporate structure for both businesses because they kind of have different functions and different laws they're subject to. So I'm sure Candy's, legal counsel is really smart to advise her of that. Also, with the Broadway stuff, they have been, in as far as I understand, they have been investors with other investors in
Yes.
these productions. They're not the only investors in the productions. So they probably are part of an investment company. And it may be that they have each an ownership share.
Okay.
Now, that ownership share may be specific to Kandi as an individual, specific to Todd, or specific to a company they own together. You understand? So if their Broadway company, their Broadway production company is something they own together, and that company has, like, say, a 30% ownership stake in a Broadway production, this divorce is going to affect how they're going to handle that. That's
Okay.
why it's really, really hard when spouses are in business together and it goes south,
Yeah.
because it can affect other people who do business with them in a really negative way, particularly if those ownership assets become subject to the divorce, because sometimes that freezes in time what that business can do. Like, the accounts get frozen in time, nobody can draw down on the account. So let's say they own 30% of a Broadway production, and they have to make contributions to the production, but they're in this divorce and they're arguing about ownership, a judge may say you can't make any distributions from your company right now.
And they have another production coming.
Yeah, I mean, but that production has been announced and is soon to, soon to open.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
But
I
like you
hope
said,
it's not going to get messy. They've been good business partners, is like my personal opinion.
Yeah.
They worked, even if they didn't work as a romantic partnership, they seem to have worked really well as a business partnership.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a universe in which they continue to be business partners. They're just not romantic partners. And Kandi is a Taurus. Y'all are more reasonable than any of the earth signs in their respect.
Well, I was going to tell you this based on how I think as a Taurus and based on the tea that we spilled in this live in regards to him being creative outside of the marriage. I think she does not want to work with him and does not trust him. Allegedly.
Well, you know what? It would be a Capricorn, actually, because Capricorn's going to get to the money no matter
exactly.
what. And they ain't gonna let no feelings.
I was about to say, Miss Esquire, you got us Tauruses effed up. What you mean?
Yeah, I revised my statement. Of the earth signs, it would most likely be a Capricorn who would be like, listen, we divorcing, but we still get into this bag.
but guess what? She has a Capricorn, I think, moon.
She might do it because he's not a bad business partner. He's not, I mean, again, they have grown their wealth significantly, and no one can take away from Todd that he has been a part of the business strategy and the business growth.
The Mama Joyce will take away from it.
I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I really hope that this is not a moment that anybody would say, I told you so. An 11-year marriage is a success to me. Like, listen, I ain't never had nobody for more than a couple years, so I don't know about doing no decade with nobody. Okay, you get on my nerves.
And 2 babies, 2 beautiful babies,
and 2 beautiful babies. Like, I hate when people, because I'm a lawyer and I see people go through this all the time. I hate when people see a divorce as a failure of a marriage. It's not. 11 years together, all of these amazing businesses, this really beautiful blended family. Your 2 adult girls get along. You got these 2 new babies. You supported each other through the death of parents and other things. Like, there's a lot to be proud of there. But the thing I always tell people going through a divorce is the first thing I tell everybody I talk to when they ask me anything is, you just need to remember that the person you are divorcing is not the person you married.
Oof.
Because you don't know this person that you're divorcing, and and they can surprise you, and they will do things that you did not think they were capable of. Yeah. So if you just remember, I don't know this person, and this is not the person I married, then you can move accordingly. Yeah.
Miss Esquire, thank you so much for calling in. I know you're busy. You got your own life. You got your own things going on, but we always appreciate your well thought out legal stance, but also your opinions on these hot topics. Was there anything else that you wanted to say about this breaking news?
No, except for I don't have a whole lot going on, but I appreciate you putting that out into the atmosphere for me.
Yes, come on.
I'm here working on a Friday night. My kids upstairs. I ain't doing nothing.
Well, we will get back to doing dating lives, and you'll have to call in for that so we can help you with your dating life.
Okay, talk soon. Bye.
Thanks, Miss Esquire. Take care. That's Miss Esquire, longtime member of the channel, our resident legal eagle. So we appreciate when she calls in because I have to say, she gives, again, that is her perspective. Every lawyer is going to have a different perspective. However, I always agree with her because she's a Virgo. So just say. For those that are just joining us, we have the breaking news that I was about to say Kelly Rowland. No, not Kelly. Kandi Burruss has confirmed that she is divorcing Todd Tucker. I also spilled tea from you guys that I heard some tea from over the weekend at BravoCon about this divorce. So I wasn't blindsided like a lot of you that she's confirming to People magazine in a statement. After deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with a divorce. This is difficult. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition with our family. All right, let me get to some more callers, but first, let me say thank you. Guys, I will drop the call link for the general audience once we get to 2,000 likes. We are almost there. We have over 5,000 of you here, and I'm assuming the majority of you are new. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. We don't just talk about housewives here in the channel. We talk about everything in pop culture, okay? And we do have rules here. We do not moderate adults, so don't fight with people in the chat. You'll learn the rules, okay? Let me say thank you, though. We had quite a few super chats. And thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps, all that stuff. I usually don't see the Cash App stuff until I get off of live because I have my notifications muted. So thank you to those of you that send in those. I do appreciate it. I love it when I go into my Cash App or my Venmo and I'm like, oh, I got a nice little lunch money here. So thank you. Appreciate it. Tanya, thank you so much for the super chat. Tanya says, I'm tired of y'all dating outside of your designated signs. Oh, damn, Tanya. What? Fire signs go with air signs. Water signs go with earth signs. It's that simple. It is not that simple. It's not that simple. Do not listen to Tanya, y'all. It's not. It's based off your birth chart. Okay? That's why a lot of fire signs love me. Because they were like, oh, there's something about you. It's my Leo moon. You know what, Tanya? I appreciate the super chat, Tanya. Nia, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Nia says, upset didn't get a notification from YouTube. Ugh. Nia, if you can, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on X, wherever else you can follow it, because maybe those notifications will work better, because we are live in all those places right now. Let me say thank you. Kriya, thank you so much for the super chat. Kriya says, it seems like when Todd did the daddy daycare, it was him documenting how much she wasn't around. So yeah, now here goes the speculation. Remember the daddy daycare situation? What season was that? Hepler, thank you so much for the super chat. Hepler says, I'm a broke bee. No cursing. But I figured I'd spot you Kim for lunch. No, you're not. Don't own that, Hepler. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Not I'm a broke bee. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Mr. Melon says, Kemp gonna marry a Cancer man with a Pisces moon. Why are you trying to curse my life? No, thank you. We good. You're gonna be real psychic, though. Marsha, thank you so much for the super chat. New sub, love your live. Thank you, Marsha. Welcome to the fam. We appreciate that. And if you're here, you don't have to send a super chat. You can just like the video. Just like the video. Subscribe. I swear to you, we have a good old time here. All right. Scherster, thank you so much for the super chat. Scherster, and for being a member. Scherster says, is anyone else singing, not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna shed no tears. 11 years. Yes, Scherster. That used to be my song. That Waiting to Excel soundtrack. I know Kandi going through it. Yes, Kandi. Listen to that soundtrack, girl. It's going to help you get through it, though. It's going to help you get through it. Nia, thank you for another super chat. Nia says, makes sense why she was emotional at BravoCon, right? And everyone said her speech, if you saw the full speech, we didn't get to see the full speech on TV. The full speech, a lot of people were emotional. She did thank him in the original speech. The one that aired on television, you didn't see where she thanked Todd. Because when I watched, I was like, oh, she didn't thank Todd. And I heard what I heard. And I was like, more. Yeah, she was emotional. And also, and I think when people go back and they watch it, they're going to notice, you see Riley seems very protective. Riley's a Leo, right? Riley's a Leo. So she was being very protective of her mom, especially because she probably know what I know. Anastasia, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Parker, she says, check your inbox. I just sent the video on the boat with Todd and Fatum. Please hold. Let me see. Let me just see. Let me see what Miss Parker sent me. Miss Parker, where did you send it? See, I'll be sending it. See, I have too many accounts. Where did you send it? Miss Parker? You said you sent it to my inbox. Which inbox? I got too many inboxes. Miss Parker? Hold on. I got too many inboxes. Lord. Wait. Singers DST says, Kempire, hit your notes. Ashley takes some notes. Ella's so shady. Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy. All right. I'll have to wait to see what you say. Oh, an IG? How come I'm not seeing it, Miss Parker? I'm not seeing it. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. You sent it to which account? See, again, I have too many accounts. I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Well, we'll get back to it. Let me get to the callers, guys. I'm going to drop the call-in link. Instagram, Miss Parker, I don't know which account you sent it to because I don't see it. It's not coming up on my Instagram. I have 3. I know. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ms. Parker. The super chats. Jimmy Clam says, is infidelity to blame? Well, Jimmy, if you're just joining us, I said, according to sources, allegedly, that might have been one of the issues. Allegedly. Hey, Austin. Austin says, what do you know, Kemp? We need the tea too. I already told you as much as I am willing to share at this particular point, Austin, for legal reasons. Hepler, thank you so much for another super chat. Hepler says, it's 2025. No, don't stop, Hepler, stop. We are not all broke. You better take that for yourself. Nope. We are all abundant over here. Right, everyone? We are all abundant. And our money flow is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Stop it. Okay? Now we all broke. Nope. Just you, Hepler. I was trying to help you. All right. Pretty says that Kandi works a lot. I can definitely see how people can grow apart. Very possible. Do you guys think that this divorce will get messy? I don't think it's going to get messy. Their relationship hasn't been messy, so I don't see this getting messy. All right, so I just dropped the call link for the general audience. Thank you so much for over 2,000 likes. Appreciate it. And shout out to anyone that's new here. If you're new here, let us know that you're new in the chat. Well, if you're new here, you can't, because we keep it subscribers only to keep it nice and copacetic, okay? All right, so let me get to some more callers. Angel's backstage. Oh, first of all, before we continue with the callers, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. Everything that they say is alleged, okay, and of their own opinion. Okay. Nicole, you may have missed it. We did say this. Thank you for the super chat, though. She says she did thank Todd and said that it's his award too. We read this. We read the thank you from the People magazine article. They included it in there too. All right. Okay, let me bring up Angel. Angel, what's going on?
Hey, Kim, I'm going to be good, but you need to rebuke what you said about Kelly and Tim. We don't want that.
Oh, I don't. I mean, if I want to be selfish, yeah. Sorry.
No, she's just on your brain because she did awesome last night. That's all. Yeah. So hindsight is a mother, and Mama Joyce might have been right about Todd being an opportunist. I know she's overjoyed today, but I truly do feel bad for Kandi because I know she wanted her happily ever after, and I know she didn't want to go down the route of being a single mom again. With that being said, though, allegedly Todd was there the night in the club with Tamar and Mendices and Funky before Tamar's teeth disappeared. Todd's been out in the streets a little bit too much these last few months, so I kind of think you're right. She noticed some things. She put Don Juan into the play like, look, I don't care. Let's liquidate. Let's separate. OLG never reopened. Neither did Blaze. And now Todd is selling tickets to his latest movie downstairs in Blaze because he's converted it. So I hope it doesn't get messy. The tickets are $200 for anybody who wants to go see that mess called Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta. And that's where the opportunist plays in, because why are you playing on Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta when you know your wife is done with you? So that's it.
And if he did anything, I don't know if it was in Atlanta, if Marvin was doing things in New York. But if he did anything in Atlanta, he's stupid, because Kandi is like the mayor of Atlanta.
Yes,
those streets.
She's the real godfather of Atlanta, not Phaedra. The ears are there.
So I hope he wasn't doing anything in those Atlanta streets, because she's going to know. She knew about other people's relationships.
She got people in the streets. She got her nephew. She got the whole OLG gang. Not the gangster aunties, but like real like nieces and nephews, everybody. Gang. So Kandi's ears to the street, and I know she knows everything, and that's why she plotted and planned her separation. So it wasn't no money problems. It was her liquidating and separating for sure.
Yep. Okay. Angel, thank you for calling in.
Good night, Kemp.
Good night. All right. Excuse me. All right. Toy is backstage. We're going to bring Toy up next. Toy, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to say it's all a scheme that Todd set up.
Marvin, you mean Marvin.
I'm telling you. Oh, Lord. Okay. So the fact that she thanked him in her speech is kind of a big thing, you know? It may show that there is no real hard feelings, but maybe something big happened this week that caused her to like really, pump the brakes. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but Todd seemed like he may be the kind of person to get vindictive, and Kandi, not so much. Like, she handles things with grace. But Andy, we need, like, are they filming Next Gen right now?
Yes. I thought about that too.
This will be a good storyline for Riley, and I might have to tune in just to see her talk about this. But Phaedra Parks, count your days, because we would prefer to have Kandi Burruss back, and Kandi being single back would be way better TV than Phaedra Parks. And we know that Andy likes them both, but we know he favors Kandi.
He really likes Kandi. That really crossed my mind before y'all knew this story. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wonder if this is going to play out on Next Gen. Because remember, too, she's going to move to be here in New York for Broadway until March. And they're filming right now. But
I saw something that said Todd is in New Jersey. And he's from Jersey, right? Or New York?
I don't know if I know he has the condo in Jersey. I don't know if he's from New Jersey. I think he's from New York. But he had the condo in New Jersey.
So, I mean, who knows, guys? What if they just call off the divorce and they stay together? They got a lot of history. I'd prefer to
you want
see
them
that.
to ride it out. You want her to stay with a cheating man. Allegedly.
You know what? You give a man an inch, he'll take a mile. Even when these guys
are you saying he got an inch?
Women. No, what I'm saying, I'm saying that they take advantage, because you in a relationship where your wife is bringing in other people so y'all can have quote unquote fun. How do you still get caught cheating? Same thing happened with Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor. These men they're just greedy.
Yeah.
They're greedy.
Todd is from the Bronx,
they get a little
by
bit
the
too
way.
comfortable.
Todd is
from
Bronx,
where?
The Bronx, the BX.
Ooh, child.
Oh, no, not the BX.
Ooh, child.
To the VX. All right, Toya.
Thank you, Kempire.
Thank you, Bud. That was a good key. All right. Let me bring up Winter. Winter, I feel like I've talked to you in forever, Winter. I know you've been in the chat, though.
Hi, Kim.
Hey.
Yeah, because like you go live and I have to actually work now. So yeah.
Sorry.
I'm so sad for Kandi. Like, I never wanted this for her. Like, I feel like she's genuinely like a good person.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to always see her get her happy ending.
Yeah.
And for this to be happening, it's just like, really, you bringing in 3 sons, 4 sons, 5 sons, and he's still not happy. It's just like, what do you want, Todd? Like, and then nothing's worse than your mom actually being right about your partner. Like, and in certain ways, we can't say she's fully right because we don't know. But I really feel like after this, she's still going to meet her match. Like, I feel like Kandi, she's a good person. She's going to get to the bag no matter what. And she's going to grow from this. So I really hope that, it doesn't get nasty for the sake of the kids. And, I hope to see her happy one day with someone, because she genuinely seems like a good person.
And she's still young.
Yeah, like, I really hate this for her, but that was my only thoughts. Like, I was just so sad. Yeah. Anyways, you look good, by the way.
Thank you. Now you flirting with me. I'm taken. Nope.
No,
I'm not. For the single men in the chat, no, I'm not.
Oh my God. And I saw you yesterday at the concert. I said, look at Kempire.
What do you mean you saw me at the concert? Were you there?
No, on Instagram. I said, look at Kempire. He out.
I'm out here dipping it and doing it. At the concert. Night. You too, Winter. Bye. Oh, Miss Bernice is backstage, and you know she about to go in. Okay, Miss Bernice. Are you there?
Yes, Kempire. Why you got to put the disclaimer out as soon as you talk to me?
Oh, okay, Miss Bernice is going to be the sweetest angel.
Oh, that ain't going to happen.
Okay, Miss Bernice, what did you want to share about this breaking news?
Excuse me. What up, doing, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Wasn't we talking about this the other day?
We weren't talking about it. There were people talking about it in the chat, probably.
Yeah, in general. But she said in her statement Nobody's going to disturb her peace. She's looking to co-parenting. That was subliminals to Todd. You can act a fool if you want to. Because you said she's a Taurus, but she has a Capricorn moon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh.
You're not going to mess with my money, and you're not going to take my joy.
Ooh.
So Todd better be happy that she's being cordial to him, because once you piss a Taurus off and let them go to the dark side, it's no pulling them back.
No.
So I hope for his sake that he stay calm, cool, and collected, and don't make no demands on stuff he shouldn't have, or try to clown on her and try to embarrass her, because once she see red and those horns come out, ain't no stopping her.
Mm.
Okay? Other than that, I'm sorry that the marriage is over.
Yeah.
She is going to have to go through a mourning stage, like every person who's breaking up of a marriage. Let it be where she can come out on the other side, a person that's whole, and don't take this as a step back, but a step up for something better in the future.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Bernice, we appreciate you calling in.
Okay, baby, no problem.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. For those that didn't know, I will be watching the 2-hour season finale of The Braxtons, and I will round it out tomorrow and give you your recap tomorrow. I still need to do my recap of the Brandy and Monica The Boy Is Mine tour. I'll be dropping that on the podcast first. So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast if you're not subscribed. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star review. And if you're here, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Shout out to the 13 people that disliked. I don't know what you dislike. This is not my story to tell. Maybe it's Todd and his cousins. All right, Todd and your cousins. Keep watching. Thank you, Nicole, for the super chat. Nicole says, oh, okay, we already saw that super chat. Thank you so much, Nicole. Yes, she did thank him. We read the message from People Magazine. Ms. Parker says, I just sent you on your inbox on FB. That may be easier to locate. Well, I don't know about that either, Miss. Oh, I don't have that particular phone here. It's all right. I'll take a look later because I don't feel like this will be the last time that we'll be talking about this story. But thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it. Hepler says, I know and love you for it. Thank you, Hepler. Kriya Knox, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Todd was a business vulture. I can see it getting messy. Well, can we just be hopeful that it doesn't? Can we be hopeful that it doesn't get messy? Monique, thank you so much for the super chat. Monique says he might be bad businessman like his trucking company. He has a trucking company? That does sound like wait, remind me. Monique, not bad. You know, everyone blamed the business. Any business failures that they've had together, they always blame him. They always blame Marvin. All right. Wait. No, Aunt Bertha just celebrated a birthday. What y'all doing? Don't do that. She just celebrated a birthday. She's dealing with what did they say? She has dementia, right? Kandi opened up about that. All right, y'all. Again, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We're almost at 2,500 likes. We still have a few people backstage that want to share their thoughts on the breaking news that Kandi Burruss has confirmed to People Magazine that she is getting a divorce from Todd Tucker after 11 years of marriage. Cynthia's backstage. Cynthia, what did you want to share on this story?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Right, I'm doing a live. Sorry. Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
That my daughter wanted to say hi to you. Sorry.
Hi, Kempire.
Hi.
Okay, we're talking about adult stuff. Kempire, I'm honestly not surprised about Kandi and her and Todd getting a divorce. I know there's been several how do I say it? Several signs, like, you know, I remember her talking about not enough sexual chemistry. And then up until May of this year, I think, was it Bravo that asked her if Mama Joyce and Todd were getting along?
Oh.
And they're still not getting along.
Oh.
And that's of May 2025. So what I will say, I really hope I'm a divorcee, and divorce is not fun. And my mom was not fond of my ex-husband when we were married. So I hope that Mama Joyce doesn't throw it in her face and say, I told you so, because my mom didn't do that with me.
I'll say this, as someone who has a Scorpio mom, she might not say it directly, she might not say it now, but there will be a way that she will say it, and it will be very much like, I told you so.
That's not nice. My mom is a Taurus.
Oh, so well, you see, your mother's a lot more gracious.
She is gracious. But my ex-husband's a Taurus.
Oh!
I hope the divorce goes smoothly, and prayers for Kandi. I know she's a lover girl like me. I hope she finds what she's looking for in the future.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you, Cynthia, for calling in.
Thanks, Kempire. Take care.
Take care. Oh, y'all make me laugh. Our callers are hilarious. All right, Cookie Dough is backstage. Cookie Dough, what did you want to share?
I'm just really surprised that it took this long to come out, because there's been rumors for months, and I'm like, I just kind of felt like it was true, unfortunately, because I've never been invested in Todd as a husband to Kandi. It just always felt disingenuous, and I've never been invested in Kandi either as like a TV personality, but I just always like really wish that she would find her true love like everyone else. I think she's a really like genuine, hardworking, talented, beautiful Black woman. But I just never felt that like, oh, I love my wife. This is like, he always tried to deny that he was attracted to her stardom, and that was the first real red flag for me. Like he always acted like, no, I'm not, here for the money. Like who wouldn't be attracted to the stardom of a person? It's normal, it's natural, admit it. So I'm just really just praying for that Kandi gets through this. Though I do think that she was not as gracious as she could have been with Phaedra's divorce with her little kids. I do think like at some point that she was like a little bit judgmental about like Phaedra not taking them up to the jail. It was like a totally different situation. But like I hope like, she gets grace in her life for what she's going through. Yeah. I really hope Mama Joyce can ring it in, because it's just really not her place. And I do think like if he did things that were not appropriate, I do think like the whole not getting along with the mom, like I hear that marriages never work if the mother do not like you on or either side.
Yeah.
So I'll be waiting and praying for them. It's just really the babies. My heart breaks for the babies.
Yeah.
They deserve a 2-parent home, but that's it.
Most definitely. Thank you, Cookie. All right. I will say this because I know that's something that we've talked about recently in regards to people staying in relationships for the kids. And I always tell you that's not healthy for the children, staying in an unhappy relationship for the children. It's actually far better for the children if if you tried everything. You've gone to counseling, you've talked, you've done everything that you can to try and save your relationship. It becomes unhealthy when the two parents are not happy and they're not living their best lives. Children are very resilient. And if anything, some of y'all in this chat better start behaving because y'all are unaliving people and I don't need that right now. Okay? Guys, we're almost at 2,500 likes. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already.
Ever notice how ads always pop up at the worst moments? When the killer's identity is about to be revealed. During that perfect meditation flow. On Amazon Music, we believe in keeping you in the moment. That's why we've got millions of ad-free podcast episodes, so you can stay completely immersed in every story, every reveal, every breath. Download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.
Let me say thank you. Queen Rez, thank you so much for the super chat. Queen Rez says, Mama Joyce wasn't getting along with AJ. She is a mean person, point blank, period. My heart goes out to Kandi, Todd, and all the kids involved. I mean, I don't think people would disagree with you. A lot of people have said that. When we recapped season 6 recently, if you missed it and you want to recap it, recap the recap, we went and rewatched all of season 6, and that is all before Kandi and Todd got married. They were engaged at that particular point, and we talked about the Mama Joyce of it all. So, all right, let's get to Tanya. Tanya's backstage. We're going to bring up next. Tanya, what did you want to share? Tanya, I can't hear you.
Oh my God, I have to run out of the liquor store.
Liquor store, Tanya. Oh, it's Friday night. That's why
I was getting a bottle of wine.
You're getting a what? A bottle of what?
Hello.
Yeah.
A bottle of wine. And now my dog wants to fight the other dogs. Anyway, I said what I said. Fire signs belong with air signs, and earth signs belong with water signs, and of course, you could date within your own signs. So I'll stick by that. And then
what is
I
your
agree with
sign?
the other caller. Oh, I'm an Aries, Sagittarius, Virgo.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I came to your show and we talked about that.
I'm like, oh.
And then I agree with the last caller. You give a man an inch, they'll take a mile. So I would love to know the success rate of other people that have been in relationships where it's been open. You know, you could dabble there, dabble there. Like, I want to know the success rate of that. Like, we need to do like a poll because, like, I feel like once I hear someone says like, "Oh, we're in an open marriage," or "I let him do this," he lets me do that.
I gotta clear something up because I don't think they've ever said that they're in an open marriage. What they've said is that they've welcomed other people into their bedroom. So I don't know the rules.
Yes, I guess. But like I lump it all like
All
together.
together?
I get it, they're a little different, but like just when you allow extracurricular activities, I feel like once the door's open, like you crack the door, it's gonna bust wide open. That's just how I feel. But thank you so much. I love it. I love popping in and I can't wait to go to your next show.
Yes, thanks, Tanya, for calling in. Go enjoy your Friday night.
Thanks.
Bye. Carmina says, I need a bottle. Look, sometimes we just got to make a joke of things. Like, this is sad news. We are in no way celebrating the divorce of this couple. But sometimes just making a kiki out of terrible news during Mercury retrograde. See, breakups happen during Mercury retrograde too, y'all. Well, we wish Kandi the best. As I said to you before, I heard about this story during BravoCon weekend. For those that follow me on X, shout out to everyone watching on X. Thank you for reposting the stream X. I heard this story and I said, I gotta, before I come out with this story, I have to get more information. So we're going to collect more information and I'll get back to you guys in regards to that. Coco Esquire conveniently just called in, which is great because we started off these callers with Miss Esquire. So why not round out these callers with Coco Esquire as well? Coco, hold on, let me bring you up. Coco, thoughts?
Well, I didn't hear what you just last said, but I'm calling. What was there a question?
No, there wasn't a question. I just said we started off with Miss Esquire, so why not end with another Esquire?
Oh, okay. Well, I was just calling to express my sadness about hearing this news about Kandi and Todd. I was very much invested in Kandi's life. And, I think it just brings up something that I've really been pondering the older I get about marriage and wealth and money. And all of those things. And it's just the Oprah Winfrey of it all. You grow up wanting to have this love and it's romanticized, but things get really, really complicated around money and power dynamics. And I don't know what happened to them, but just life being what it is, Kandi is so ambitious, and I'm sure she expects a person who's not going to, half step, whether it's with their work ethic, whether it's with their honesty or whatever. And so it can be challenging for women of means to navigate that.
Yeah.
In this particular social dynamic that we're all dealing with. So it just makes me sad to see that. And ego being what it is, I'm like Miss Bernice child. I hope he don't get to acting crazy, but I'm 5 years old. But also, Kandi has the means to have the appropriate lawyer and legal team to help support her. So I just wanted to call in and say that. And then I also wanted to say, child, I didn't get to talk to you about all of these criminals out of Potomac.
What were your thoughts? Feel free, because I'm sure everyone that's here watching this is probably a fan of Potomac as well. What were your thoughts? First of all, is Mia still in jail? Can she not post bail for $2,500?
Well, I don't know if she's in jail or not, but Mia is crazy for walking off of the set of the show. She needs to be working.
But now she's not even welcome back. They don't want to welcome her back.
They don't need to. The way she walked off the stage, I'm just like, this is just a series of poor choices. But really, the credit cards of it all was
Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy.
Oh my God. What is happening, Kim?
I have and look, we've said this before when we were talking about Wendy Asefo in this situation. I said the prosecutors are just giving us a little bit of what they have. I'm sure they have more.
Yeah, because they've had time to build a case. They didn't just arrest her out of the 7-Eleven for stealing some Jolly Ranchers. Like, they've been investigating this.
They still sell Jolly Ranchers?
Yeah, they still sell Jolly Ranchers. I don't know if they do in New York, but everywhere else they do.
I used to love me a good Jolly Rancher, like watermelon.
Yeah,
Sorry, sidebar.
I just feel like, man, this is such a poor example for everybody, that you have to engage in illicit activities in order to be on TV. It's just kind of disappointing,
Yeah. I mean, they're, of course, denying the allegations.
I mean, what else are they going to do? I mean, of course, you have to deny it. I mean, and because you have to make sure that you hold the government to the fire procedurally, because in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. But you already know how I feel about the situation. It's just been a disappointing day for Black women in the news on reality TV of it all. Then there was another congresswoman who was just indicted out of Florida.
For $5 million, right? For taking COVID?
Yes.
COVID relief?
For the COVID relief fund.
But she said it is a distraction because she wants to get the Epstein files out.
Girl, I mean,
I don't know the logistics of the case. I just know the basics.
Two things can't be true at the same time. Right? It can be a distraction. And
$5
also,
million.
girl, you could have also not done the right thing with the money. But it's just been a rough day in headlines for Black women in the View. And so I'm hoping that we go into a better weekend so that the spotlight can be on someone else.
We can only hope.
Coco. I mean, I'm going to dig into the meat of it all, and I'm going to make sure I have my notifications on so that if you start talking about it more, I can kind of.
I did drop an update this morning along with it's in one video, an update in regards to Wendy responding to the allegations about Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy. But I also gave you an update in regards to apparently Mia had she had been sued for unpaid rent for this particular apartment and one in North Carolina back in March of last year. And apparently, it seems as if she might be still in custody. Bail was set at $2,500.
And she doesn't have $2,500. Oh, my God.
I was saying maybe we should do a little GoFundMe, but then I was like, no, thank you.
Exactly. The thing about it is Mia didn't even need all those houses. She was so good for TV. Just being herself was entertaining, in my opinion. I hate to see her go out like this.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, Coco Esquire. Thank you so much for calling in.
Y'all have a happy holiday if I don't talk to you.
You too. It's Thanksgiving next week.
It is, child. All right.
Have a good one. Bye. Oh, we love it when the attorneys call in. They always give great perspectives, but also just opinions. You have a great community here. If you're new to the community, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, become a part of the community. Let us know if you're watching the replay of this, if you're new here, and let us know who you are, how old you are, and where you're watching. Okay, you don't have to tell us how old you are. Be sure to, Fifi says, kept sending me money. No. I was kidding. I was being facetious. She took $11,000 worth of furniture, apparently, allegedly. All right, y'all. Let me say thank you because we had, thank you so much, Jess. Jess says, not necessarily on track with the subject, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love your decorations. Thank you. And mind you, this is just a little bit of what I have. Y'all saw my apartment. It's cute. It's cute. Thank you so much, Jess. Appreciate that. Happy holidays to you. Monique, thank you so much for the super chat. Monique says, they showed us his trucking company on the, I was about to say, I vaguely remember the trucking company. I was like, wait, what? Where was that from? Sometimes with all the stuff that I report on and cover and talk about and watch, a lot of it's just sometimes, especially when it's unimportant, when we're talking about Marvin. But okay, thank you so much for the reminder, Monique. Lord have mercy. But like Miss Esquire said earlier, they also had a lot of success in business together. We don't know the logistics of that. We don't know if it's just Todd was connected to that and it was really her. Well, who knows? A lot of people want to not give Todd any credit, but we don't know. We don't know. All right. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down in this chat because we had over 5,000 people watching, so we appreciate them holding us down. So be sure to thank them in the chat. Also, thank you to those of you that became members or have been members for quite some time here on the channel. Become a member today at TeamKempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, including our merch, House of Kempire, just everything Kempire. My skincare routine, if you want 10% off at butterskin.com, Kempire 10. All that will be available in the description and episode notes for those that are listening on the Kempire podcast. And if you're not following us there, you should. You should. Not Housewives of Sing Sing. Lord have mercy. All right. Let me just say thank you. We had another. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I don't take that lightly as well. Chat, today is my birthday, and you're sending me a super chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. That's it. And that's the first time I sang happy birthday to somebody here. You're welcome. Goodbye. I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating a birthday. We're still in Scorpio season, right? Yeah, it's Scorpio season. So maybe tomorrow. All right. I love calling peace. You're late. Kandi's getting a divorce. She confirmed to People Magazine. She even released a statement. Rewind, and you can get the full report. All right? All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.